Are you ready to dance, mother lovers, for another round of mixed doubles? That's probably why you're here. Stick around. Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to this month's edition of Mixed Doubles, where I, Random Ross, take two horror movies of two genres, but then a little bit of a subgenre in there, and I review them together. And the whole challenge for this is to review each film within 3 minutes or less, or within less than 4 minutes. And this month's theme for this episode, of course, from what you've seen already, is Road to Hell. So, let's kick off our first mixed double review with a Rob Zombie classic, The Devil's Rejects. Let's go! So, our first stop in our Road to Hell reviews is on the 1986 classic, The Hitcher, written by Eric Red and directed by Robert Harmond, starring Rutger Hauer, C. Thomas Howell, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Jeffrey D. Munn. So this is a 1986 horror, action thriller, road horror classic, action horror thriller, etc. So this is a film about some young guy who's driving a car, delivering it to some place, and he picks up a hitchhiker, John Ryder, who is played by Rutger Hauer, and the main protagonist is played by C. Thomas Howell, and then discovers that he's a bit of a nutter, and then it turns into like this whole game where he's toying with him on a murderous rampage, killing people and framing him for it. Along the way, he meets a waitress called Nash, who ends up getting caught up and involved in this, and she suffers a brutal death by being tied between two trucks. And of course, the camera cuts before we get to see her torn apart, because that's left to the audience's imagination. Anyway, yeah, they have this final showdown, and of course, our main protagonist, I can't remember his name now, comes out on top, and the film ends. So, let's get on to my likes and dislikes about this one. First of all, the likes. I liked our main characters in this, played by C. Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer. So these guys were just great on screen. They did great performances, especially the character of John Ryder, the killer. He was really evil and menacing, and what was his motive? I don't know. He's pretty much a John Doe, because he has no identification or nothing, just the name John Ryder, so who is he exactly? I also liked the female lead in this, well, the only female lead in this, Jennifer Jason Leigh. She was beautiful and stunning, and yeah, her character undeservedly got a brutal death. And I've seen this in the remake. Early in the remake, it's the man, and he gets torn in half, and we see that. But I like how they just cut the camera and leave it to our imagination when we see what happens. I also like the soundtrack to this. It felt like a bit of a 80s action thriller as well, because this isn't just a road horror, it's action thriller too, because there is a lot of action in there. Also, the killer, he kills people differently. He shoots them, or he stabs them, whatever. They did remake this in 2007 with Sean Bean, which I thought was a good remake, but you can't beat the original. I also like the cinematography in this. This, I just thought it was a great road horror, and I recommend it. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to give The Hitcher, I'll give this 3.5 machetes out of 5. So for our next review now, and that will be on The Devil's Rejects. So for our next stop in our road to hell reviews in this month's Mixed Doubles, I'm reviewing The Devil's Rejects. Written and directed by Rob Zombie, starring Sid Haig, Sherry Moon Zombie and Bill Moseley. This is the 2005 sequel to the 2003 horror House of a Thousand Corpses. So this follows the Firefly family shortly after the events of House of a Thousand Corpses, where they're on the run and they take a big road trip to get away from the cops and the authorities. And yeah, along the way there they go on a murderous rampage of carjacking, shooting and killing, and yeah, it's full of the swearing and the violence, and yeah, it's a good sequel, and I thought it was slightly better than House of a Thousand Corpses, and there is a third instalment to this film coming out in the autumn, Free from Hell. But enough about the whole story now, let's get on to the likes and dislikes. So first of all, I liked this one because even though it was a sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses, it still had that, that it still felt like the same film. I liked Captain Spaulding, played by Sid Haig, how he still had his clown makeup on, and how he was a clown for a majority of the film, but then he wiped the makeup off and he was like, oh, now he's just Captain Spaulding like a person. But still, I loved Sid Haig's performance in this. I also loved, I liked Sherry Moon Zombie in this. I thought, oh, she's in it because she's married to Rob Zombie, but still, I don't think she's a terrible actress, and yeah, she was okay in this. A bit of a weirdo, but that was her character. That was the weirdo. Bill Moseley as well. At first I thought he was Rob Zombie because he looks a lot like him in this film. But yes, yeah, I liked our three leads in this, and I like the story and the torture gore that they still maintain from the previous film. And this even had a cameo from PJ Soles as well, who played Linda in the original Halloween film. When Captain Spaulding wants to take her car because he has some top secret clown business he has to attend to. So yeah, I also like that there was little humour in there. My dislikes, I can't really think of much to dislike. This film, first when it came out, I think wasn't a great hit, but it has definitely gained a cult following. House of a Thousand Corpses has gained a cult following at least. So House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, I remember being a fun watch. A lot of violence and swearing in there, but see, with Rob Zombie, you either like him or you don't. I personally like his films, except for Lords of Salem. I could not get into that, and the animated one, I thought that was bizarre, but still. Devil's Rejects is one of his best films, I'd say. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Devil's Rejects, I'm going to give this a 3.5 machetes out of 5 again. So that has been my review, my Mixed Double reviews on the two films featured in this month's episode. Now down to my next part of the show, the shout-outs. Let's go! This month's shout-outs go to Sierra Hall and Queen Cujo. So be sure to check out those two lovely ladies. They're awesome horror YouTubers, and to tell them that I sent you their way. Their channels are linked down below in the description. And there you go. That's this month's Mixed Doubles. Have you seen any of the films reviewed into this month's episode? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to check out our this month's shoutouts, also linked down below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And to hit that notification bell if you're new here. And also, yeah, I've already said my social media links are down below. So yeah, that's it for this month's Mixed Doubles. So, until Till next time, don't have nightmares.